You guys, the new Fantastic Four trailer is finally out, and it is everything I wanted and more. From the teaser for the teaser that they released yesterday, which used the same children's laughter sound effect twice. Yeah, they are getting thoroughly roasted for that one. But now that we can finally see what this movie has in store for us, it's time to get hyped again. I mean, I can only watch Harrison Ford turn into Red Hulk so many times. I feel like this trailer's been playing for years now. With a fresh new cast, a wildly different look, and money shots that make you go, oh, yeah. Let's dive a little deeper into this trailer, shall we? And find out together what makes it so fantastic? Alright. What makes it good? You happy? Now, to really set this all up, we have to understand the history of the live-action movies. Ever since the 1994 one. Oh, what's that? Never heard of it? That's because it was never actually released. Created only as a way to keep the rights to the characters. What little you can find of it only comes from pirated copies floating around. But that didn't stop them from eventually making the Fantastic Four movies that we all know and love. The 2005 one and the 2007 one. Now, while these two weren't exactly box office hits, they were definitely better than most people would make you believe. With a charismatic cast, great special effects, never mind, and a trailer that still slaps 20 years later. Oh! These movies captured our imagination before Marvel really got off the ground with Iron Man in 2008. Then in 2015, Fox was like, F it, let's do it again, but worse. And we got Josh Trank's Fantastic. Sitting on Rotten Tomatoes at a respectable 9%, the movie pulled together high-caliber actors like Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Jamie Bell, Michael B. Jordan, and had no idea what to do with them. Grounded and gritty could have been a cool way to go, but the movie didn't exactly hit any highs that I can remember. But all that changed in 2022, where we met a variant of Mr. Fantastic who finally got the chance to kick some ass. Damn it! But now that Disney has officially sucked up the rights, we get to Fantastic Four: First Steps. Probably the first Marvel movie in a while that I'm actively looking forward to. And why's that? Well, one reason is the star-studded cast. First up, Mr. Fantastic, played by Pedro Pascal. And you know, I just think it's so great that Pedro is finally getting work, you guys. He's had a hard time lately. And good actors just fall through the cracks and... Just kidding. The man's in absolutely everything. Like, damn, Pedro, leave some roles for the rest of us. Then you got Johnny Storm, played by Joseph Quinn. He hit the mainstream with Stranger Things Season 4, playing the lovable Eddie Munson. Then he showed up as a random law student in the Quiet Place prequel. The guy's got range, so we can only imagine how he's going to play this flying, fire-flinging fella. Then there's Vanessa Kirby, playing Sue Storm, who I actually don't know too much about. She was in a Fast and Furious movie. But at this point, who hasn't been in a Fast and Furious movie? Am I right? As long as they don't put a wig on her for reshoots, then I think we're good. There's Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, played by Ebon Moss-Backrack. Don't know much about him either, but he was good in Andor, so we'll see how it goes. Then last but not least is Galactus, a villain in a Marvel movie played by, let's say it together,
a British person?
That's right, a British person. It's a stacked cast, and in a weird way, it's sort of refreshing to see these actors for the first time in the MCU. But casting isn't the only place they're experimenting. Let's look at the setting. For this modern-day retelling, Marvel has chosen to go back to 1960, but not in the timeline we know, but an alternate one. Now, maybe it's a way to distance themselves from the movies that have come before. Or maybe they do have something new to say by introducing us to this parallel retro-futuristic world. One thing's for sure, they're not showing us another origin story, which as the Tom Holland Spider-Man films have proved, doesn't even need to be there for the audience to enjoy the movie. How many times do we have to see Uncle Ben get shot? Not as many times as Batman's parents get shot. Point is, we all know how the Fantastic Four get their powers. They go into space to study cosmic clouds, but then a cosmic storm breaks through their space station and they all return home with superhuman abilities, right? You nerd.
You hungry?
No, Mom, leave me alone. I don't want any more dino nuggets. Everyone and their grandma knows this origin story by now, so it's an inspired choice for Marvel to spare us. To already see this group established in their world, much like the heroes in the new Superman, we've arrived in a new era of comic book films, where we're trusted to know the lore and just get into the movie. And speaking of the movie, let's take a closer look at some of these money shots. Here we got Johnny Storm doing his iconic Flame On. Going in, it was a mystery how this movie was going to show it. But who in their wildest dreams could have ever imagined that it would look kinda like how it's always looked. But that doesn't mean it's not still cool. They really spoil us by showing not one, not two, but 3 separate shots of him flying on fire. Compared to all this, it becomes painfully obvious that Mr. Fantastic didn't even stretch once in the entire trailer. Remember when Tom Hardy barely turned into Venom in the first Venom teaser? I remember. Ruined my day. But I'm cutting Marvel some slack on this one. I'd rather have them spend time to get the visual effects just right, because we all know what happens when they don't. Now on to Sue Storm. We get a tiny peek at her invisibility, but it's in this shot where she truly shines. For her force field, they're going for this warbly prism effect, which I can't say has ever been done before. The Thing running, the fantastic car zooming down the street, always happy to see a superhero vehicle, know what I'm saying? Here we see Galactus towering over New York. Known in the comics for devouring entire planets, it makes me squeal like a schoolgirl to see shots like this. And finally, we have our 4 heroes gathered together. The color scheme of their costumes, the reference to a 1964 Beatles performance, to see this iconic superhero family for the first time in the MCU is truly a sight to behold. Yeah, it's all the rage now to call out how Marvel has fell off and will never recover, how they're grasping at straws, throwing anything at the wall that sticks, reusing directors and pulling beloved actors out of retirement and okay, I'll stop. But you know what? Deep down, more than all the hate, all the angry YouTube videos out there saying Marvel is over, I don't want that to be true. Take me back to the days when every movie in the MCU hit it out of the park, when theaters were packed to see what came next, when we all cheered our heads off at the wonder happening on screen. Take me back to when Marvel was magical. And with Fantastic Four First Steps, I think I'm beginning to feel that very magic coming back. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Hey, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.